Welcome to the Refine and Shine, the podcast dedicated to mastering the art of continuous improvement and optimizing every aspect of your life. I'm Angelina Rivera, your host, and together we'll uncover the secrets to refining our lives, our habits, and our processes to unlock our inner brilliance. Join us on Refine and Shine, where we'll delve deep into achieving more in life without the burnout and without all the stress. This podcast is your platform for a more fulfilling life through continuous improvement and personal growth. In each episode, I and a diverse array of guests discuss practical strategies for up-leveling every aspect of your life. From developing good habits and organizing your space to refining your mindset and personal goals, we're going to explore it all. Our guests share personal stories about the systems they've developed or systems they've used and the tweaks they've made in their lives when refinement was needed, allowing them to truly shine. Listen to Refine and Shine to learn how you can implement continuous improvement techniques in your daily routine, develop and maintain healthy habits that lead to success and satisfaction, organize your life to reduce the stress and increase your productivity, foster a growth mindset that propels you to new heights. My mission is to inspire you to take bold action, make positive changes, and become the best version of yourself. Whether you're aiming to elevate your career, nurture meaningful relationships, or enhance your overall well-being, Refine and Shine is your guiding light. With over 25 years of experience in continuous improvement, I help businesses streamline their processes, establish efficient work areas, and implement standard work protocols. I have trained over 600 individuals and teams in process improvement, optimizing workflows, and enhancing overall operational efficiency. Tune in every week as we embark on an enlightening journey, exploring paths to refinement and illuminating the way to shine in every area of our lives. Subscribe now and join us on this journey to polish your life and let your best self shine through. Thank you for joining us on Refine and Shine. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Refine and Shine podcast. I'm super excited for my guest today. His name is Troy Rivera, and he is a master life coach who helps people get what they want. And after 2 decades in education and leadership, he stepped away from being an assistant principal, and we're going to talk more about that in just a bit. But he made the bold leap from a six-figure career to build a mission-driven coaching and a digital education brand focused on identity shift, mindset, reprogramming, and conscious success. He is the creator of Manifest Like You Mean It, Aligned, Shift, and he is the host of the On Purpose Over a Paycheck podcast, where he teaches the transformation doesn't come from working harder, it comes from becoming who you were meant to be. Troy is known for blending grounded psychology with powerful manifestation principles to help people stop waiting for their lives to change and stop becoming the evidence. And so, Troy, thank you so much for being on here today.
It is my pleasure to be here with you, Angelina. Really excited about sharing what I know, but getting to know you a little bit more as well, and just very honored and blessed to be here.
Well, thank you so much for that. And I just love what we're going to talk about because I am super passionate about leaving things. And I actually just wrote a chapter in a book about it. But we become so complacent. And what happens when we become complacent? We're not really living to our purpose, right? We're just like doing like a robot. We're just doing the same thing over and over again. But we were made for so much more than that. And so I'm just super excited to dive in into what made you leave a career that you had for 2 decades, a good paying career, to go into this entrepreneurship.
Wow. So honestly, to tell you the truth is I have always been passionate about education. That was ever since I was in high school. I wanted to become a teacher, and I did it. And I did it for 24 years. I was doing it. And I also served, as as an assistant principal for about 6 years of those within my career. I loved it, and I was just passionate about teaching students. Didn't matter at what age level you were. I just loved it. But there was something that I started to learn during that whole entire process is that I had students starting to call me like a coach, because it wasn't just more about teaching students in education, what they needed to know. It was also about life skills, understanding how life functions, the things that life brings you. And how do you go about and get what you want, And I started to learn a lot about that, and I just found this passion. And then just one day I remember being online and I saw something about a life coach, and I was like, what's this? A life coach? And so when I started to research a little bit more into it, I discovered truly what a life coach does. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do that, and I can have my own business. I can be my own boss. I can do all of this. I started to see at the beginning was the glamour and glory of everything. Like, you're going to work from the beach, you're going to have your calls, you're going to work 4 hours a day, and I was like, oh my gosh, and you're going to make six figures or more. So I was like, well, this is a dream job. I don't have to work anyone's schedule. That was a burning desire for me, I would probably say, for over 8 years. I would come to it and I would visit it, I would embrace it, I would do stuff, and then I'd pull back from it because I get stuck in, I have, I'm an assistant principal or I'm an educator and I've got to do this stuff. I have to fulfill this job. So it was that bouncing back and forth. And I would always find myself just, even in general, just when I'm talking to people, whether it was my family or friends, and we're just hanging out together, we'd have conversations, and I always was listening, and then I was always probing my family and friends, and like they would say things like, "Well, I can't do this," and it's like, well, if you say that, of course you're not going to do it because you keep telling yourself self affirmations, and so I would try to support them, and I would just have it in a conversation, and then I would get feedback. People were like, "Oh my gosh, I remember the conversation we had, and I did what you told me to do, and it changed my life." And I'm like, "What did I say?" Because we were just having a conversation, and that's when I realized, I was like, "Okay, this is a passion, and this is what I wanted to do." In all honesty, I was kind of just really exhausted of. I loved what I did. Don't get me wrong. But I was kind of tired. I was like, I want to run my own schedule. I want to be run on my own timeline, and I want to help people get what they want, because it's a beauty when you figure out the systems and how it works, and excuse me, what you're capable of. I was like, and I'm not going to lie, I want to make six figures. It's like, if I can do this, right, I can have fun making money of what I love to do. And so that's why I said I'm kind of done with being in the system, and I moved into my own purpose.
I love that. I love that. And I think that it's so important. And I've kind of did a shift myself where I left a career. I left something that was not easy. It was a good job. It was hard. There was days where I worked 6 days a week and all the things, but I was like, am I really living into my purpose, or can I make a bigger impact? Right. And so I left my career and went to a different job. And, I haven't fully stepped into fully entrepreneurship, but when I left, I was like, okay, now I have all this time freedom. What am I going to do with it? And then I went into the coaching, and I went into developing, starting the podcast and all of these things. And the thing is, it's risky, right? It's scary and it's all these things. But the thing is that when we are passionate about something, like that is God's given gift to us to give us this talent. And I think we're disobedient to him if we don't go and pursue it. And I love that you said you loved being an educator. Like, I loved doing what I did too, because I was helping the warfighter. I was doing all these things, but I just knew in my heart that there was so much more for me to do, and there was a bigger impact that I could make. And if we're really good at it, like, why not do it, right? And so I think that that's amazing that you did that. How long has it been since you stepped away from being the assistant principal?
It has now been going 2 months, and let me tell you, I started a podcast myself, that talks about my journey of leaving the career and pursuing in what I'm doing. And it's been 2 months, and let me tell you that there have been those moments that it's like, it's amazing, this is absolutely working, it's great, to the moments of, it's like, oh my gosh, I got bills coming in, and I'm already living off my credit cards, and how am I going to, how's this going to work? It's this ebb and flow. But one thing that I've been grateful during this whole time is I have established in working and understanding our nervous system, which is not really taught by a lot of people. Um, and understanding it. And I have become, I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I have become an experienced person in understanding how to regulate and work with your nervous system to get it to be open and receptive and receiving anything that you want to manifest with. It's more than just the affirmations. It's more than just the visualizations. It's more than just, journaling. It's, and before you can even have an affirmation that works, or the journal or the vision, you have to regulate yourself. Your body has to be ready to be open and accepted. And then, I've learned so many different things throughout this process, and it has been scary. It really has. But I've also received so many different amazing, if you people can call them miracles, but I always say that the magical surprises of how the universe does fulfill what I ask for. Again, it's doing it on its timeline. I have a timeline, but the universe says we abide to our own timeline. So yeah, it's been 2 months and it's been a journey. Let me tell you, it's been quite a journey.
I love how you said that, you're honest and open about it. It is, there's those ebbs and flows and all the things, and it's ups and downs, but then you hear these testimonials, so to speak, of, hey, what the successes that you've helped, or the manifestation that it's not always on our timeline, right? We always want things right now, but it takes work, and then there's always, like, the universe gives us the timeline. But one of the things I wanted to ask is, what are some easy or some ways that if you could share with us, how we can help our nervous system, regulate our nervous system? Because so many people don't really understand what our nervous system is even about, and how, if we can calm ourselves and really regulate our bodies, how it can really help us in the long run. So what are some tips you can give us?
So two tips that I always share with everyone, is there's two methods that I use. The first one is a 4-7-8 method breathing exercise. This is done by the Navy SEALs. This is how Navy SEALs are able to stay focused in the most combative time that can also be the most stressful times. And so basically, you breathe in, you do the cycle 4 times, but you breathe in for 4 seconds, and then you hold for 7, and then you release your breath for 8 seconds. Right? It's the 4-7-8, and you do that 4 times. Um, I also shared how, with my clients and my people that I work with, I also share with them that we can add in some manifestation work or some visualization, and going from there. But really, it's what it is that breathing technique, the 4-7-8. What it does is, by the end of the fourth cycle, you're going to probably come back a little lightheaded because you've done a lot of breathing exercises. But you are now calming your system. You're calming down your nervous system. The thing about it is that from our head to our heart center area, the brain will think and try to tell us and rationalize things, right? But the nervous system is where our feelings come from. It really is where it knows everything about our body. And it's the one that sends the signal to the brain to say, hey, something's wrong with this part of the body or this area of your body. So really, it's more in charge than your brain is. Your brain is just the receiving information. The vagus nerve is the area where, if it's not feeling safe and secure, if it's living on survival mode, it doesn't matter what your brain thinks. That's why I say, when affirmations, we can think it over and over and over, that they don't work. And I've heard that many times. I've said it to myself most of the times, until I learned that you regulate it. So breathing is one of the ways, the 4-7-8 method. The other way that it's one of my favorites, is you hum. And that's, or if you think about the old, from India, when they do the mantras, and they do the that really is, it's more than just the sound of the it's the vibration. And what it does is, that vibration, where it hums at, it hums in the area where your vagus nerve is at, and it massages it to really give it a relaxing moment. So that's like a quick thing that you can actually do immediately when you're feeling stressed, when you feel like you're just living in survivor mode. You can start humming, and it really pauses, and it really calms down the vagus nerve. And those are two things that you can do when you get ready to start working with an affirmation or affirmations, or when you're getting ready to do a visualization work or some type of relaxation work, I always teach and share that you need to get yourself aligned first and get yourself to understand that you are not in survivor mode. You are now in a safe and secure environment, that whatever you're going to work with now, you're more open to receiving, and you're going to be able to get to, maybe you're able to connect with the energy of the universe, vibration, frequency, and energy, because now you're there, you're aligned, and you're ready to work. And it's one of those easiest practices that you can do. I mean, it's not $1 million thing, but hey, and that's what we do. So those are a couple of the techniques that you can implement immediately when you're wanting to recalibrate yourself.
I love that. I love the I've heard the deep breathing, or the 4-7-8 for the breathing. Is it 4-7-8? I've heard that before numerous times. My old job, I used to work for the Department of Defense, and so lots of techniques, and we'd get lots of training like that. But I love the humming, and I don't think I've ever heard the humming, and it kind of reminds me when you were saying just doing the it reminds me kind of like the vibrations of like when people go do the sound baths and things like that. And it's so simple when I think about it, is that you can just do the humming even when you're driving. That's something that you don't have to worry about passing out, because with the deep breathing, like the lightheadedness, you can just do that to calm yourself if you're in traffic, or even in a meeting, not kind of humming a little bit, so that way if you're about to ask a question or do a presentation or things like that, it's something that's quick and easy to do. And so I thank you for sharing that. And as you work with people and you're coaching people, tell us a little bit about what type of programs you offer and how people can connect with you to do for your services that you provide.
Well, my clients are. I'm sorry. So my clients have experienced a lot of different things. I do 2 different types of master classes each month. One master class is usually a 2-day event on a weekend, a Saturday and Sunday, and then there's always one that's on a Sunday. So my clients get the opportunities and chance to experience master classes, and the master classes are basically they're just by themselves, like a master class that we have a topic, we go in, and it's very intimate. It's over Zoom, and it's very engaging and interactive. It's not me just coming in and talking and doing stuff. We always involve and bring things in. I also have opportunities for self-developed programs. Like my one that I have right now is Manifesting Like You Mean It. It's a 30-day program ebook where you can do the whole thing by yourself. You don't need to have me. It's there. You take it and you roll with it. I am upgrading that to where I'm adding some QR codes to put inside the ebook, where they're going to have videos now, so that you can audio clips to listen to, or just a quick little lesson that I want to reiterate with that. Right now, I have going on for my clients is a 4-week coaching program that is going to take the Manifest Like You Mean It ebook and use that for 4 weeks. And so that one's titled Manifesting with Purpose, because we have to understand that when we work with the God Source Creator Universe and what we're trying to attract, especially the law of attraction, we want to do it with purpose. And that really is, and it's more than just purpose. It's creating a new identity shift of who you are, understanding how you are connected. You're no longer your old self. You're building a new identity, and now you're bringing in what you want, right? I always say that you can have whatever you want.
Is your business constantly busy, but still inefficient? If your team is working hard but things keep falling through the cracks, it's not a people problem, it's a process problem. This is where Refine Consulting comes in. I help businesses simplify operations and build systems that actually work. Here's how I do it, in just a few days. First, we get clarity. We identify where your time, energy, and money are being wasted. Then, we map your process, step by step, so you can actually see what's happening. Next, we simplify. We cut out delays, redundancies, and anything that's slowing you down. Then we build a system your team can follow, so everything doesn't depend on you. And finally, we implement, so you walk away with a clear plan and real results. No more guessing, no more chaos, just better systems. If you're ready to streamline your business and get your time back, go to refineconsultingllc.com and book your free discovery call. Let's refine your processes and help you shine.
You can have whatever you want. And that's the beauty of it. So I have that program going on. We're starting that actually March 9th. And so I have a going from there, and you can find that all in my links and everything. My only link that I have is my link tree, but it's going from there. But a lot of my clients, I'm very passionate in what it is. I'm very passionate in helping people get what they want, because I have always said, when I get information, when I have all this knowledge that I have to share it. It is my responsibility. I don't gatekeep anything that I learn. I have to share it. It is what the universe, and that's how the universe has blessed me. I have to give it away. I have to share it with everyone else, because it's I always say it's their birthright to know.
Mm-hmm. I think that that's so important. I go to a lot of events, and I've also believe in education. Like, I believe that we should always be learning, and I love that they, as you learn things, that you're sharing them with others, because I think it's like, it's like not to be a gatekeeper, right? And the more that we share, it comes down to a ripple effect, and it will make like, we make an impact on one person because we've shared information, then they're going to share it with another person, and then it just keeps going and cascading down, right? Like throwing a pebble in a water with the ripples and the waves, I think is important. And I love how you're doing it, and you have multiple ways for people to work with you, where they can, get your ebook and walk through it, do it that way, or that you have master classes that people can attend, and that you also have like the 4-week courses as well. And so there's really, what people need to ask themselves really is like, what do I want? And and if I want these things, what is the work that I'm going to do to get it? And how can I work with somebody who has actually done the work and has helped numerous people get what they want by manifesting it, and not just manifesting and saying, okay, I want this and it's going to happen, but actually doing the work and the research that's behind it, and how to put it all into play. Correct?
Everything. Yes, correct. And the thing about it is what I've learned through this experience is, when I finally started understanding what my role in it was, things started to shift. And that's what my goal with my clients is, to get them to understand that. Because once you start to know, because when you manifest the first thing that you asked for, you start to realize, oh my gosh. And it really just functions off of, am I really open and safe and secure to receive what I'm asking for? Because it's just more than words and sounds. It is about, am I okay? If I said, Angelina, I'm going to give you $1 million right now. You have two options. Your body's going to say, oh my gosh, like, why? And that's where you're going to feel like, I have $1 million. What am I going to do with it? Then right there, your body is telling you that you're not safe and secure with this money. So you might frivolously lock yourself up or something, or you might spend it to where you're broke again. That's what happens with most millionaires who win the lotto. That's what most lotto winners do, is that when they win it, it is a lot of money. So their body doesn't know, their nervous system doesn't know how to accept it, because they're not open and secure for it. They may even feel that they're not worthy of it. So what they do is they spend it all, and they end up back where they're at, because we're human natures. We go back into what's comfortable to us. And if that comfortable is, I live paycheck to paycheck, that's where you're going to be, until you start working through and developing to open more and allow yourself to have more, and know that you're worthy of it, because you were not born to be broke. You were born to have all that you ever desired. It's like a birthright. And we talk about, when we do meditation stuff, we talk about prayer, we talk about all the different avenues. And I always share that it's okay to kind of like command and ask. My favorite verse from the Bible is, when you ask for something in prayer, believe it is yours and you will receive it. Right? And that is what I always believe in. And that's how I help my clients understand. We don't doubt it anymore. We're over it.
Now, I love how you said that. And, you're so right. Like, if we're not ready to receive the things, then we're just not going to get it. And it's the same thing. Like, I coach people on like time management, and I go through like different things. We go over like you want more time, but yet you keep your schedule so busy that you're not even allowing yourself to rest. And when or you live in chaos, and your body has to operate in chaos, and your house is chaotic, and all of these things, you're never going to have that calmness if you don't declutter the things, declutter your work environment, declutter the chaos of, always having to be in this procrastination and all of these other things. Like when we can clear it and actually make our get clarity on what we really want, and do the work, there's so much things that can happen from that. I mean, so many people waste time, or like, because their house is a mess and they're trying to find their keys, or they're trying to find this or trying to find that and all these other things. But if you just take some time to declutter or clean up some stuff, or spend 5 minutes tidying up your work office for the next day, it'll make such an impact. But then we feel like, oh, I don't have time, so I have to go rush to go pick up my kids from soccer practice or whatever we have to do, right? Just an example. And then we're constantly in that rush, that, and our brain is constantly in that fight or flight type of situation, because we don't know how to calm ourselves down. But if we just go and spend some time in that peace, and that you know time in prayer, and time to just work on our breathing and work on our nervous system and all of these other things, we can have so much more in life. It's just we just, it's kind of like the I think of like the social media, like the TikTok. Like, we have to watch, 7 seconds is all that our attention span has. And but we need to live like we have more time than just 7 seconds to really work on ourselves. And we can't treat ourselves like a 7-second reel, right? We have to like work on ourselves, calm ourselves,
Exactly.
do the work, and we can manifest so much more if we just kind of like stop, slow down. And I always love that you got to slow down to speed up, right? Tony Robbins, I think, says that. And we just have to we just have to do it. And we're just like, want to rush, and I need this now. And I need like $1 million today. Do you really need it? Or are you going to just spend it? And like you said, go into debt real quick because you don't even know how you would spend it. You're not even clear. You're not even able to prioritize your work schedule or your time management, that you won't be able to prioritize your bills if you can't even do it correctly. And so we have to make space for that. So I love how you share that. I think it's so important.
And
When
that's
people
and that's
Go
one
ahead.
of the goals when I work with my clients. That's one of my goals is with my clients when I work with them is I want to help them to understand that, because it's more than just writing an affirmation and believing I'm going to get it. There's
Mhm.
more to it. When I started this work years ago, I I just say an affirmation and it's going to flop onto my thing. Well, I always tell people anything's possible in the quantum field, because that's what we work with in our fourth dimension and our fifth dimension. Anything's possible, but it really relies on to how we're ready. If we're ready for it to happen, it'll happen. If we're not, it's not going to happen, and it's going to be the biggest challenge you're going to come across.
Mhm. We have to be ready and open to receive, right? And also do the work. And yeah, I think that's so important. And so, um, what's the best way? I'll make sure that I have, is the link tree the best way for people to connect with you?
Yes, Linktree is where everything is at. It provides when I have my classes going on. It has when I have my group coaching going on. It has everything that's available for you to see there. It's the one stop shop to get a hold of me.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So I'm definitely going to have your link and your link tree link in the show notes, so that people like, and I'm telling you listeners, if you are like, hey, I really think I need to like work on myself, and I really want the things, and I don't know how to go after them because I'm just not clear. I don't know how to manifest things. I need help. Then please, like, connect with Troy, and follow him. Get his link tree. Look at the show notes. We make sure that you do that. If you're watching in the car or listening in the car, make sure you like, hey, I got to get this done because I really want to work on things. And like, just think about it. We have one life, right? We have one life, and are we really working on the things that God has, or the universe has put on our hearts to do? Are we just exhausted? And if we're constantly in that exhausted phase, state of mind, constantly, we're going to always be that way. We have to really work on what we really want, and and slow down, work on ourselves, get the things working, clear out, clear out the clutter, clear out all the things, and just really think, let me get this work in. to make my life in a better state. I read somewhere not that long ago is that we work so hard, and then by the time we retire, we only have like a 10 years lifespan after we retire. And it's like, why would we work so hard just to
Exactly.
have freedom for 10 years? And we're really not in freedom, because by that time we're in that retirement state, our bodies are tired. We have, we got so much more that we're worried about, that we're never really kind of free. And so it's like that just like changed my perspective on a lot of things. And it's like, live in the present moment, but really live in the present moment by taking care of the things and making sure that you're working on the things. And if you want, like, oh, one day when I get this much money, one day when I do this, one day, that one day is always going to be that one day later, because you're not taking care of the things you need to take care of now.
hmm
So,
And the thing about it is that I love how you said that, is because it is. And that was one reason I told myself, I said, this is where I made that shift, is I didn't want that anymore. I didn't want to wait until like I'm 65 to say, then now I can start living my life. When you take the bold risk of doing what we do, um, it does. And I love the journey. I love the journey. I don't want to say I'd ever go back and change it, because I love this journey that it goes through. But also too is I help people understand that you can have this, right? I wish someone would have taught me this earlier when I was younger. Because I
mhm.
think, I say, if I would have known what I know now when I was in my high school years, man, my life would be a lot different. But I guess this is the stage that I was tuned into with the universe, and says, this is when you're ready to understand it. Let's go. So I say I help people try to understand quicker and where their path is at, and let's just make it happen.
I love that. I love that. As we wrap up, though, I always ask all my guests this. What is one thing, a word, a phrase, a book to read, or some type of action that my listeners can take today in order to help them refine and shine?
I always share this. This is my mantra. This is my statement. This is what I share with everyone. Even at the end of letters that I write and my podcast sign off, it's, you don't manifest what you want, you manifest who you are.
Mm, I love that. So good. So good. Well, I thank you for everything that you provided today, and I'm super excited for my guests to hear everything that you had to share, and that they will connect with you to work on the things so that they can manifest themselves, right? So thank you so much.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Refine and Shine. We hope you find valuable insights and inspiration to fuel your journey of continuous improvement. Remember, the key to success lies in refining your processes and letting your inner brilliance shine. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your feedback is greatly appreciated and helps us reach more listeners like you who are eager to refine and shine in all areas of life. Stay connected with us on social media for updates and additional resources and behind-the-scenes content. We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to reach out with any suggestions, questions, or success stories you'd like to share. As we wrap up, remember that the power to transform your life lies within you. Keep striving for growth, embracing change, and seeking opportunities to refine your skills. Together, let's continue to shine bright and make a positive impact in the world. Until next time, keep refining and keep shining.